Hello, my amazing tribe. I'm excited to connect with you through this video. Hello, YouTube friends. Join us as we unravel the mysteries surrounding Fink singer. Finn Greenall, known professionally as Fink, is an English singer, songwriter, guitarist, producer and disc jockey born in Cornwall and currently based in Berlin and London. From 1997 to 2003, he focused on electronic music and did internationally, releasing in 2000 his debut album Fresh Produce on Ninja Tune. Since the 2006 release of his album Biscuits for Breakfast, the name Fink has also referred to the recording and touring trio fronted by Greenall himself, completed by Guy Whittaker bass and Tim Thornton drums. Most recently, he has written in collaboration with John Legend, Banks, Ximena, Sarinana and Professor Green. With Amy Winehouse, he co-wrote the song Halftime, which appears on Winehouse posthumous collection Lioness, Hidden Treasures. In 2012, Fink collaborated and performed with the Royal Concertgebouw Orchestra in Amsterdam, resulting in the live album Fink Meets the Royal Concertgebouw Orchestra. Fink is signed to his own label, Recoup Records, a subsidiary of Ninja Tune, on which he has released his latest albums. In the next phase, we'll be immersing ourselves in the realm of early life and exploring its real-world applications. Greenall was born 1972 in Cornwall and grew up in Bristol. Greenall recalls the one thing of his dad's that he wasn't allowed to touch was the old Martin acoustic guitar. Greenall said, it was his one possession where he said, everything in this house is owned by everybody apart from that their presence influenced his future in music. The great thing about growing up in a house where music is a big factor was the fact that music being part of your life was a perfectly natural thing. During his teenage years, he accumulated eclectic musical interests, gravitating towards The Cure, The Smiths, The Orb, African music, and Japanese hardcore, before discovering electronic and dance music at University of Leeds. He earned his degree in history and English at University of Leeds and, with student friends, formed the short-lived dance act EVA, who signed to Kick-In Records in 1993. For the remainder of the years and much of the early years, Greenall worked in the music industry for various London-based labels, including Virgin's Source, Def Jam, and Sony. Simultaneously, he pursued a musical career, remixing and producing for various artists, including Ryuichi Sakamoto and Elbow, but also as a DJ. In this chapter, we'll be unraveling the enigma of career and discovering its transformative power. Fink's serious recording career began with Ninja Tune's subsidiary N-Tone's release of his debut single Fink Funk in 1997, followed by the album Fresh Produce in 2000, which was well received. In the following years, he continued to produce other artists, including Martin Taylor, Michael Pitt and Robert Belfour. Towards the mid-years, Greenall developed a disillusionment with dance music and being a DJ and began to turn to more traditional musical avenues. It was this feeling which resulted in Biscuits for Breakfast, the first album to feature current collaborators Guy Whittaker and Tim Thornton, with whom Greenall had been friends for a few years but had not yet worked. Built around his bluesy voice, finger-picking acoustic guitar and the stripped-back live rhythms section, the self-produced Biscuits boasted a fledgling pop sensibility while retaining some of the signature Ninja Tune sonic hallmarks. He became the label's first singer-songwriter. The album, along with single Pretty Little Thing, helped define his style and began to bring his name to a wider and higher-profile audience, notably 07, who invited Fink to support them on their UK tour. The time has come to unravel the secrets behind Distance and Time and Sort of Revolution and gain a deeper understanding. During the extensive European and American tours which accompanied Biscuits, Greenall began to write songs for the follow-up album. For this, he collaborated both with his bandmates and third parties, teaming up with Blair McEachin for the writing of the This Is the Thing and producer Annie Barlow of Lamb. The eventual album, Distance and Time, was released through Ninja Tune in October 2007 and was immediately recognized as a more robust, band-led affair than its predecessor, with Musicom stating that the soft-spoken confessionals of their debut are more accomplished this time, taken to the big city and returned home just as wounded, but more worldly unwise than their little brothers. The tour following Distance's release took Fink to new territories such as Germany, South Africa and Canada, and also saw the band supporting Italian rock band Negro Moro at the climactic San Siro Stadium show in Milan. One of Distance and Time's tracks, If Only, attracted the attention of American singer-songwriter John Legend, with whom Greenall collaborated on tracks for his album Evolver. The hit single Green Light, featuring and the 3000, won a BMI award for Greenall in 2010. Legend reciprocated by collaborating on songs for Fink's 2009 album Sort of Revolution. Greenall decided to return to production duties for this set, resulting in a more experimental approach that the Kyra Burgess described as a sublime study in the art of pleasing yourself without drowning in indulgence. Radai had become a fan of Fink's work at this time, posting the song on their website playlist. BBC Radio 1 DJ Shiel Peterson, who commissioned a live session for his late-night show, recorded at the Ximena Voice Studios. Sort of Revolution's accompanying tour was more extensive than previous outings, taking the band to China and Australia for the first time. In the latter country, Fink headlined a 3-night stand at the Sydney Festival. It was during this trip that Greenall met Professor Green, and the pair decided on a collaboration for Green's upcoming debut album, Alive Till I'm Dead. The track, Closing the Door, features a rap from Green, a sung vocal from Greenall and instrumental backing from Thornton and Whittaker. The experience led Green to request a further partnership, this time for his 2011 release At Your Inconvenience, another full band collaboration on Spinning Out, a reworking of the Pixies' 1987 classic Where Is My Mind. On the American trip for the Revolution album, Fink was invited to perform at a tribute concert for REM at New York City's Carnegie Hall. Greenall performed a solo rendition of The Apologist from the band's 1998 album Up. Now, let's shift our focus to Perfect Darkness and embark on an intellectual exploration of its various dimensions. Songwriting sessions for Fink's fifth full-length album began in early 2010. For this album, Greenall's process was very different. Greenall recounted in an interview that after all the live shows and all the fun we had on stage, we jammed first as a band. No vocals, just these massive soundscapes. We did about 30 of them. Then a couple of weeks later, go through them, pick the best bits. Perfect Darkness, the song, was one riff, one bass line and one moment of a 20-minute jam. The band traveled to Los Angeles to record the subsequent album with producer Billy Bush. On 27 March 2011, the track Perfect Darkness was made available for free download via the band's website, followed by the album release on 13 June. The critical reception the album received was positive, with The Guardian's Caroline Sullivan describing it as a delight, achieves such loveliness you don't want it to end, and the Ian Wade calling the set a writhing, surprisingly meaty addition to the overcrowded singer-songwriter genre. To support the album, the band took the decision to enlarge their stage show considerably, not with additional musicians but with a visual production, designed by 59 Productions, famed for working with Jinsi and on the stage show Warhorse. Says Greenall, they've been part of the album big time since the moment we started to write it because we knew that they would be involved with the stage show. They've custom engineered the show that doesn't overpower the music but just kind of embraces you and it emphasizes some of the atmospherics in the music. The live show involved a frame to which 48 angle point lamps were screwed, and 8 gauze visual screens. The subsequent tour took Fink on 49 dates in 14 countries throughout autumn 2011, including London's Union Chapel, where the Times' David Sinclair found the show a perfect storm of profound, brooding emotion. In 2012, Fink featured alongside Professor Green on Read All About It. 2. A new version of Green's hit single Read All About It featuring Emily Sand. The song was recorded for Q Magazine. In November 2012, Fink played their largest UK headline show to date at London's Shepherd's Bush Empire. In the following segment, we'll be examining Queen's Night concert with Royal Concertgebouw Orchestra in greater detail. In October 2011, Fink were approached by the Royal Concertgebouw Orchestra of the Netherlands and Dutch classical music charity Entree to perform with the orchestra on the traditional Queen's Night concert the following year. The concert took place on 29 April 2012 at the Concertgebouw in Amsterdam and featured classical pieces chosen by the band, along with exclusive arrangements of 6 songs from across Fink's catalogue, scored by Jules Buckley of the Heritage Orchestra. Also performed was Buckley's arrangement of Henry Purcell's What Power Art Thou, sung by Greenall. Claudia Kuipers of OOR stated that the orchestra gives songs a new, unexpected power and lightness. In this hall his songs become complete, even though you'd thought they already were. The orchestra commissioned a special iPad application for the event, on which worldwide viewers could stream audio and video footage of the concert live, in real time, the first time such an application has been used for this purpose in the Netherlands. On 14 October 2013, a live album of the concert was released through Ninja, entitled Fink Meets the Royal Concertgebouw Orchestra. As we transition, let's shed light on Hard Believer and horizontalism and its relevance to our ongoing exploration. On 19 March 2014, Fink released the first song from their new album, Hard Believer. The song was made available for free download from the band's website and streaming on SoundCloud. A week later, Fink confirmed that a new album entitled Hard Believer would be released in summer 2014. Hard Believer was released on 14 July 2014 through a new Ninja Tune imprint recouped. Like its predecessor, it was produced by Billy Bush. Buoyed by the radio success of the single Looking Too Closely, the album charted in several territories, including a top 10 appearance in the Netherlands, number 8, number 25 in Germany, and a top 30 slot on the Billboard Heatseekers album chart in the US. Following the success of the Hard Believer album, Greenall made an alternative version of the album using some more of the atmospheric sounds from the record, which emerged in May 2015 as Horizontalism. In the following section, we'll be immersing ourselves in the captivating world of 2017, Fink's Sunday Night Blues Club, Vol. 1 and Resurgam. On 10 March 2017, Fink released a more blues-oriented album called Fink's Sunday Night Blues Club, Vol. 1. Considered a side project after the pressure of Hard Believer and the studio time of Horizontalism to do something raw, rough, and live. A record that just was, for its own sake. It was recorded in Fink's apartment in Berlin. The album was produced and mixed by Fink and Flood. Each track was recorded fast, live, using one vintage mic and one vintage amp. The track Cold Feet was later used in the television show Better Call Saul. On 15 September 2017, again through Recouped, Fink released the album Resurgam, with prior releases of the singles Cracks Appear on 31 July and Not Everything Was Better in the Past on 29 August. The album was recorded entirely at the Assault and Battery Studios in London, with producer Flood. Fink subsequently announced an autumn tour with more than 60 dates across 19 countries, with the band including 2 drummers for their live performances. Let's zoom in on 2019, Bloom Innocent, and understand its implications. On 25 October 2019, Fink released their album Bloom Innocent. It was again produced by Flood. In this section, we'll be exploring 2021, IIUII It Isn't Until It Is. 2021, IIUII It Isn't Until It Is. New album 2021. As we enter this new phase, let's analyze other collaborations from different angles and evaluate its significance. In 2005, Greenall sings the track Dead Man on Nitin Sawhney's album Filtre. Fink appeared on Bonobo's 2006 album Days to Come for the track If You Stayed Over, an adaptation of which became Make It Good. from Fink's own Distance and Time album. In 2008, Fink appeared on the John Legend album Evolver, having co-written Greenlight and co-produced and co-written Set Me Free. Fink also continues to operate within the dance music scene under the name Sideshow on Walsall's Simple Records, with 7 releases to his name. An album, Admit One, was released in January 2009. He also continues to record under various guises, currently Quantum Entanglement with Berlin-based DJ Lee Jones. In November 2011, he has spoken of his early sessions with Amy Winehouse, saying, "The songs were there, her voice was there, and she was genuinely who she was, and that was obvious even at 17. She was a no-compromise, full-on artist. It was just awesome to work with her." In 2012, Fink appeared on the Season 2 pilot episode of an Indian musical show called The Tourists along with composer Salim Sulaiman from India and Shafqat Amanat Ali from Pakistan. In 2013, Fink collaborated with John Legend on the soundtrack album to 12 Years a Slave, having co-written and performed Move. Let's now turn our gaze towards live albums and explore the fascinating connections it has to offer. List of albums with selected chart positions. If you have any suggestions for future videos, feel free to drop them in the comments section.